Okay, so this is how we begin. I'm just putting on some foundation. I use MAC foundation, MAC liquid foundation. It goes on pretty smooth and it just gives you really nice coverage. Pretty light and it's buildable, but we'll get to that later. Next, we're going to take some primer for our eyelids. I use Urban Decay. Oh, upside down, awkward. I use Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Put just a little healthy sized dot right there. And I just use my fingers. I'm not going to go crazy trying to use a brush. We're college students, we can't afford makeup brushes. You just really just dab it on. Make sure you get really good coverage. You want your makeup to stay on for the duration of your performance, or else it'll get all sweat off and messy. But this really helps. I've been using this for quite some time now, and it's a really useful tool. Okay, so now we are all primed up and ready to go. Next, we're gonna just start with our eyeshadow. So first, we're gonna start with a base eyeshadow, and our base eyeshadow is just a white shimmer shadow. The one I use is CoverGirl from the drugstore. Really easy to find, cheap, simple. Just gonna take our nice brush there and get it everywhere, like everywhere, all over your lid. Just really make sure you get a nice amount on there. You may think you look crazy, but from stage or on camera, you really won't look that crazy. Get nice, even amounts on there. Okay, so let's move on to eyeshadow phase 2. The eyeshadow I use for this, it's a Stage Lights Compact. We're going to use this really dark brown one down here. I'm just dabbing the tip of my brush into it. And we're going to go right in the crease. You can do as little or as much as you want, but if you get the right amount on there, it really makes your eyes pop. It makes your eyes look a lot bigger. And now we are on to phase 3 of our eyeshadow. So I'm going to take the same Stage Lights Compact, and I'm going to use this gold right in the corner. Get some on my brush right there, and then I'm going to go right under my eyebrow with it. And line right under your eyebrow. The color is pretty sheer, but it does give a nice definition. And it's a nice change. Instead of going from a really dark brown to a really bright white, you're going from a really dark brown to sort of this goldish yellowish tint, and it's a lot nicer. My contacts are bugging out in here. You can totally see that. Okay, so this next part is where I would usually put on false eyelashes until I found out I didn't have any, but we were already too far into it, so there goes that idea. But normally, false eyelashes, always put them on. I use e.l.f. brand. They're only $1 a pair, and they're gorgeous, and they stay on so nicely. But make sure you buy Duo Glue. Duo Glue. Don't use the e.l.f. glue. Okay, so next we're going to use some Stila eyeliner. It's easy. It's a pen, nice felt tip. So you just want to pull the corner of your eye and start 3/4 of the way in. And then you get a nice even line. You can go back and add more to that line later. And once you get the whole top, you just want to start from that corner of your eye and you just want to brush out to get a nice wing on there. Make sure you fill in all your spots. You don't leave any white space. And there you go, filling in that line right there. Give it a nice even distribution of liner. When you don't have false eyelashes on, you don't want to go too thick because then you're going to look like you don't have eyelashes. So it's definitely nicer to do a nice thin, clean line than try and get a lot on. The left side's always the hardest, trying to get it to look exactly like the right side. Next, we're just gonna line a little bit on our waterline. This is Love and Beauty Cosmetics from Forever 21. Who would have thought? Very cheap and works very well. So I go dark in the corner and I kind of try and blend it in with my top line. And then, just a little bit underneath, give your eyes a little bit more of a pop. Some people don't like to do this. I think it makes a huge difference in the way your eyes look. So yeah, dark in the corner, nice thin line after. Don't go all the way into the other corner of your eye. You want to make sure it's just on the outside corners. Alright, so here's the fun part. The fact that I use 3 mascaras. So the first one is, you can't even read the label. The first one is They're Real from Benefit. It's just a mascara sample that I just happened to get from Sephora, so thanks. Brush that on there. Okay, so we're gonna go on to our next one. Again, no label, but it's Maybelline. Maybelline Great Lash. You can buy it in any drugstore ever. It's like $6.99 a tube and it lasts a million years, so I always hit it with this one next. The different brushes really do different things for your lashes, so it kind of helps to use various ones. And the last one we have, so I just use the brush from my Maybelline Mega Lash. It's just a nice brush and helps fan out my lashes a little bit more. Okay, so now that we're done with mascara, we're going to move on to filling in our eyebrows a little bit. My eyebrows are pretty dark, but I do like to fill them in. So I use my Naked 2 Basics palette, Urban Decay. Take that last dark color right there. And I don't like to go too crazy with them, just a little bit to even out everything. So I just get a little on the tip of my brush. And just brush it on in, nice and even. Don't go too crazy. Yeah, make sure you're nice and even. You don't want uneven eyebrows. Okay, so now that we're done with all that, the next thing we're going to move on to is finishing up our foundation. Like I said, the MAC foundations are really buildable. Like, one coat just isn't enough for the stage, so we're going to keep working with that. So I use Bare Minerals. It's just a bronzer, just to give some more color to my face. I always start on my cheeks. Make sure you blend it in really well. You don't want to have 7 different colors on your face. And it really makes like a huge difference with the foundation and gives it almost a matte finish rather than like a shiny finish, which I don't think a lot of people are into. So I just go for it. Just go for it, get it everywhere. So next we're just gonna add some blush. This is Ulta brand Cheek Color in Flush. Just line right, I usually line right on my cheekbones right there. I look crazy, it's fine. This is mostly just so you don't get washed out under stage lights. You can't really tell how effective it is because dorm bathroom lights are not ideal for stage makeup. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a translucent pressed powder, and it's Stage Lights brand, it's a stage makeup brand, and I'm just gonna put it everywhere. It really helps hold everything together, and it gives your face the finish it needs. Yeah, it gets everywhere though, so be careful. This also helps you like continue to blend your makeup. Make sure you blend out all your edges. You don't want makeup edges. So you can kind of tell there's a nice finish to your face right now. And the last thing we're gonna do with our face is use a finishing spray just to set all our makeup, make sure when we sweat, it doesn't sweat off. So I use Smashbox Water Primer. It says water primer, but you can use it as a finishing spray as well. Couple spritz, shake your face around. You kind of got to dry it off a little bit. It does tend to stay a little wet. Dab it in if you have to. And of course, unless your certain role calls for something other, I know growing up I was always told red lipstick. Red lipstick is your finishing touch. So we're going to use this red lipstick. It's one of my favorites. It is Kat Von D. The color is Underage Red. It's my favorite. I love the way this lipstick goes on. It's creamy and it does not dry out your lips at all. It's fantastic, and it's color stay, let me tell you, because I've worn this stuff for up to 6 hours before and just it doesn't come off. And even when you try and take it off, sometimes it doesn't come off. So just get a little bit on the bottom there. I always dreaded lipstick. I always felt like I would mess it up. And there we go. Nice finishing touch with a nice red lip. Very classy. And there you go. And that's pretty much how I do my makeup for the stage and for camera as well. I've done a lot of video filming where I found this makeup to be extremely effective. And I hope you have found this helpful, and I hope that you can use it.